Hey, Zahir Galt here. Harmony that uses 3 voices sounds lush and larger than life. And I'm going to show you how to sing it. Let's get to it. A powerful and relatively easy way to get into these types of vocal parts is to think of it like you're building chords using one voice at a time. So the simplest kind of chord is called a triad. It has 3 notes, a root, a third, and a fifth. So if we're in the key of C, which has these notes, you can build a chord on C. C will be your root. To find the third, count up 3 notes, including the one you started on. That gives us E as the third. If we climb up 3 more notes, we get the fifth, G. And you'll notice it's 5 notes up from the root, which is why we call it the fifth. And there we have it. We just built a C major chord. C, E, and a G. Now that's the chord stacked up in thirds with no extra space in between the available chord tones. It's something called close voicing. So we're going to practice singing each one of those 3 parts. First, you're going to sing the root. So sing this note and hold on to it while the other 2 notes layer on top. Okay, how'd you do? If you're finding it challenging, run it a few more times before moving on. Now you're going to sing the third. You're going to first hear the root, then jump in. Let's try that one more time, but I won't play your note. You'll have to find it by ear. Here we go. And you'll notice it's a different sensation being on the root as compared to the third, which is why we're practicing singing each part. Now let's get on to the fifth. You're going to let the root and the third come in first. Once more, finding the note by ear. Great. Okay, so that was close voicing. Now, if we reorganize the notes, say, move the third up an octave, this is an open voicing. Different voicings give us access to a more diverse set of sounds from each chord. This also gives us more flexibility for each individual vocal part as we're changing from chord to chord. Okay, let's practice singing that third up the octave to create the open-voiced chord. And one more time without the piano. Now, in any given major key, there are 7 naturally occurring triads, but there are only 3 types. Major, which is what we just sang, minor, which is a little bit darker, and diminished, which is tense and dissonant. There is one more triad that exists. The plot thickens. This is the augmented triad, a chord of intrigue, and it doesn't naturally occur in major keys, so we won't look at it just now. How these chords are different is based on the spacing between the notes. So the major triad has a distance of 4 semitones between the root and the third, and a narrower distance between the third and the fifth, 3 semitones. And to turn a major triad into a minor triad, we lower the third. So we get the narrower distance between the root and the third, and the wider distance between the third and the fifth. And simply noticing these distinctions and being mindful of the differences in sound will help you tune your harmonies better. Okay, let's harmonize on the minor triad, starting with the root. And now you sing the lowered third. Give it a go. And again without the piano. Now sing the fifth. Once more without the piano as reference. And finally, let's do it with open voicing. So we move that lowered third up an octave. Once more by ear. Okay, and to turn the minor into the diminished triad, we lower the fifth. And so for the diminished triad, there's 3 semitones between the root and the third, as well as between the third and the fifth. And sung, it sounds like this. As you can hear, this is a dissonant chord, but it can be very evocative and a challenge to tune properly. So let's sing it, starting with the root. Now you're singing the lowered third. Once more, finding it by ear. Now you're up on the fifth. And now by ear. Great. Now we're going to move that third up an octave and sing it in open voicing. And by ear. Nice. So you sang through all the different parts of the 3 types of triads that exist in a major key. Now, there are a world of other chords to explore. Extensions, suspensions, chords from outside of the key, chords built differently entirely. And this is where so much of the wonder and excitement and adventure in music comes from. And we can talk about more harmonies in a future video. But for now, it's important to understand in most music, we're not often singing chords just for the sake of singing chords. We're usually harmonizing a melody. And that's what I want to show you now. Here's an arrangement with a lead melody and a harmony backing. Through the waking dawn, I will stagger on, chasing wishful stars who linger on the horizon. And the first thing you'll notice about the harmony arrangement is we're not just using one chord. We're moving between several chords, which means as you're singing your harmony part, you'll want to be thinking about tuning the chord, thinking vertically, as well as tuning your melody, thinking horizontally. Let's practice singing this kind of harmony, starting with that lowest voice. First, we'll get the melody down with the piano. Now once more, I'm going to bring back all the parts except the one you're singing. Here's your starting pitch. Let's go. Through the waking dawn, I will stagger on, chasing wishful stars who linger on the horizon. Okay. Hopefully that went perfectly, but if you got lost, that's okay. Practice your part by itself a few more times. And when you come back to singing with the whole arrangement, try not to block everything else out. Instead, sink into the sensation of each moment. and let that be a guide. Okay, we're going to move on to the middle voice. Here it is with the piano. Once more as the middle voice with the whole arrangement. Through the waking dawn, I will stagger on, chasing wishful stars who linger on the far horizon. Great. Now it's time to sing that top voice. And one more pass with the full arrangement, minus the top voice, which you're singing. Through the waking dawn, I will stagger on, chasing wishful stars who linger on the far horizon. And now, just for fun, you're gonna sing the lead line. Here's your note. Take it away. Okay, that's it for this time. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments. Make sure you subscribe so you catch my future videos. And shout out to my incredible patrons for making this video possible. Thanks for watching. I'm Sahar Galt. I'll see you next time.